Jim Broadbent is here. 2001 will likely go down as a milestone year for him. He began it in the blockbuster Bridget Jones' Diary. He followed with the role of the cabaret impresario in Moulin Rouge, earning him a British Academy Award last month for Best Supporting Actor. Finally, there was Iris for his performance as John Bailey, the man behind Arthur Iris Murdoch. He is nominated for the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. He's already won the Golden Globe and has been honored by the National Board of Review and the Los Angeles Film Critics Association. I'm pleased to have him here at this table for the very first time. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
The life of a character actor, which I assume you proudly love being called.
Yes, it's a choice.
It's a choice, exactly. Is its longevity, if you're good.
Yeah.
What are the other great benefits of having a life in film and on stage as a character actor?
Well, it's I don't think I'd have it in any other way, because I have a very low boredom threshold, and I'm just always looking for something I haven't done before, and it's a sort of a function of that, really. I'm always trying to find things that are new, and you know, genres that are new, and different types of film and different types of theatre. But
you work all the time.
Not quite all the time. I mean, I could work more than I do. Yeah. But yes, I haven't been. Touch wood, I haven't been worrying about where the next job's coming from
for a long time. Yeah. There was a time when you wanted to learn to be natural in film.
Yeah. I've done a lot of theatre, and that's a sort of the basis of my career, I suppose. Every year I do at least one biggish theatre, and I do film work or television work in between the theatre jobs. But I was always, it annoyed me that I wasn't as comfortable with a camera. A foot away from my face. I wasn't as comfortable as I'd like to be, and I wanted to be as easy with the camera as I was on stage. So I thought, I won't do theatre for a while, and I'll just get in front of a camera and get happy with it, really, which I do feel quite relaxed now.
As relaxed as stage, or even more so?
Yeah, perhaps more so at the moment, because you get a bit rusty, stage rusty, and I have to, it is nerve-wracking on stage. It does get you.
Do you feel some imperative now to sort of go back to stage and make sure that you get fresh again?
I'm feeling that at the moment. I didn't realise until I heard that somebody was interviewing me the other day and said, "Are you part of Sam Mendes' new season at the Don Mar, and when he's doing Uncle Vanya and Twelfth Night?" I said, "No."
No, why not?
No, I haven't heard about that. I realised, perhaps I would like to do that stage. Yeah.
Did you do anything about it? Did you call him up and say, or call your agent up and say?
I think it's well down the line.
When you set out to be an actor, what was the motivation?
Well, I didn't have a great deal of choice at the time. At school, I was only good at art and acting. My parents were fairly keen amateur actors, and they loved theatre. And we went to the local repertory theatre in Lincolnshire quite a lot. And I was always being taken to see unsuitable plays. And in fact, and in their amateur theatre, my first part on stage was in the Doll's House, one of the children in the Doll's House. So I started with Ibsen.
Yes, it's a good place to start.
And I haven't returned to him yet. Yeah. But so theatre and acting was always sort of something that was around. So I wasn't intimidated by the idea of it. So I was always volunteering at school for it. Yeah. But I was good at art as well. But so I went to art school for a year, and I was good enough to know that I wasn't good enough then. So I went. So then I thought, actually, if I'm honest with myself, I want to act. So then I went to drama school. There's
a great tradition in Britain. Let me not go there, because I may be wrong. But I was with Ian McKellen, as I said to you before we sat down, in his hometown near Manchester, and they have a little theatre there. You know, and it's amateur theatre.
Yeah,
maybe 150 chairs or seats.
Yeah.
Is that throughout England?
It is really. Yeah. I mean, in fact, there is a small, a converted Wesleyan chapel in Lincolnshire called the Broadbent Theatre.
The Broadbent Theatre?
Yeah, no, but it's named after my father, because he was instrumental in setting that up, and then and he was an architect, and he arranged the conversion of it into a theatre, and then he died, so they called it, looking for a name, so they called it the Broadbent. And I'm now the president of that little amateur theatre group, and they take touring shows, but they put on their own shows.
Yeah, that was.
It is a tradition. It's all over. Yeah, I mean,
and this community supports it, and it's a great entertainment for the community.
Yeah, and it is the amateur theatre groups, the amateur dramatic societies, as they're known, are big thing in Britain, yeah.
Now, you're playing someone who's alive. How do you go about that?
Well, I like, first of all, I like playing real people, whether alive or dead people, because I find...
That have some historical
Yeah,
place.
I mean, like Gilbert in Topsy-Turvy.
Right.
Gilbert and Sullivan. I like the complexity of real people.
Now, does that have anything to do with the fact that you can find out about them or you can see them? I mean, Judy, for example, told me here at this table that she saw these interviews that Iris Murdoch had given, at least 3 or 4 of them. Did you talk to John Bailey?
No, I didn't talk to him because I was working. I was in Italy working when for the months preceding the actual filming, so I wasn't able to talk to him. But I did. There was one radio interview he did with. It's called "In the Psychiatrist's Chair."
Oh, I've heard about this.
He does in there.
I've heard about this.
And this is where Professor Anthony Clare, the psychiatrist, probes into the psyches of well-known people, and John Bailey was one of them. And that couldn't get any better research material.
Talking about who he is and what
talking about who
him.
he is, talking about his relationship with Iris, talking about his family, and talking about his everything and his neuroses and whatever. I mean, it was. I mean, it's just a godsend, really. And his manner of speaking is so particular. His very light stammer and all that area. I mean, that was irresistible to a character actor.
Just to go with it.
Just to go with it, and all that is very informative about. I mean, how he speaks and the tempo and the lightness is all. It all adds up to the character.
Take a look at this. This is where you're helping Iris, played by Judi Dench. Remember that she is, in fact, an author.
I wrote novels. Wonderful novels. I wrote such things you wrote. Special things. Secret things.
What do you think?
She's wonderful, isn't she?
Now, is that what you were thinking? She's wonderful? Or were you criticizing yourself at all? Were you thinking anything, I would have done this differently?
And then I was just looking at her and I was reminded, because my mother died from Alzheimer's in 1995, and I was just so reminded, and particularly in that scene, just of the gentleness and the little struggle to remember and find the words, and it's actually terribly easy to act with Judy. When somebody would have said it must be hard acting with Judy because she's so brilliant, you have to work twice as hard to keep up with her, But actually, I mean, it doesn't work like that.
It's exactly the
she's
opposite.
So real, it makes it easy, and you go with it, and you enter the scene as well.
And probably elevates all who work with someone. People who work with you would say the same thing. You're elevated by working with people who are really good, whether it's playing sports or acting or doing anything.
And I mean, in part of getting that is the fact that it's easy, and you're not struggling, and you're not fighting to do what you're doing. At
this stage in your life and career, are you learning anything about acting? Or are you simply, it is the experience of doing it and the experience of living?
I think you're always learning things about acting. I mean, and the experience of doing it and living. I mean, that's all part of it. But I mean, particularly, I mean, it's hard to pinpoint it with film because you do it that day and it's gone, and you think, what might I have done, or did I miss an opportunity, or did I overdo it, or whatever. But if you're doing theatre, you always learn with it. I mean, just the timing of a joke and getting a laugh is limitless. Infinite interest and difficulty.
But I would think this would be amazing. So you have a good night and you've got perfect timing and the laugh is there. Whether you can duplicate that next night. Can you come to that moment the next night?
Well, that is the... You can't. As soon as you think like that, you can't. And you have to work out how to do it, and you have to forget the laugh you got, but you somehow try and remember where you were coming from when you got it. It just goes on forever, and you never grasp it. And it's probably not your fault, probably just the audience. That night, one person who had a big loud laugh and got a particular...
But you can be moved and energized by an audience.
Oh yeah, it was hugely stimulated. Yes, and a good one. And then you realize that when you
What
start
does a
to flow.
good director do for you?
Good director, all the good directors that I really like what actors bring to the table. That's the main thing. And
But all good directors like what actors bring to the table.
yeah.
If you have a good director, they'll appreciate what the actor can do.
Yeah, and enjoy. I mean, I love it when you're rehearsing and you see the director with his fist in his mouth trying not to laugh because he's got to go through, and then you think, and that is so stimulating to if it's comedy.
Yeah.
But that's what is, and I mean, like Woody Allen, Mike Lee, Richard.
Yeah, Mike Lee is the other great partnership you've had.
Yeah, I mean they love actors. They give a lot of responsibility to the actors to share in the whole creative process, and it's not just read the script and do it as I want you to do it.
Right, it's a collaboration. Yeah. Tell me about Mike Lee and that collaboration for you.
Yeah, that's I suppose that is most important. I mean, 1979 I first worked with him on stage. I did 2 stage plays with him at the Hampstead Theatre Club in London, and small. One in 79 and the next one in 81. And it's, I mean, that is such a particular way of working. I mean, and I think it's partly what drives him or stimulated him when he started was because he had been to art school and then he was at RADA and then he went to film school, and he realised that there was the acuteness of observation that he had when he was at art school, and figure drawing and all the artists would do, and they'd look so carefully at what they were trying to depict. Didn't happen with the actors at RADA at that time. It was a generalised thing that the actors would put across. So he's always liked an awful lot of the actors he uses have some sort of art background and artistic talent in some way, because there's an observation that goes with that, and I think I enjoy that in him, and that he asks for that precision in observing characters, and he likes, I think, what we bring.
Yeah. Take a look at this. This is another scene in which you tell Iris that he, Jim Bailey, cannot speak the language of love.
You know, it's all around us, people like you and me talking nonsense.
Oh, I know.
So to listen, that's the job.
Call it a job, but it's like music, what you do. You live with the angels, speak their language, the music of despair. Nowadays, the only language anyone really understands is pictures.
Love's the only language everyone understands.
Oh, love, yes. I can read it, but I can't speak it.
Judy makes it fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Moulin Rouge. Tell me about that performance as the impresario.
Well, that is he was no, that was it's a different sort of job. I mean, apart from the fact that it's a musical, which I've never done before. I don't sing and I don't dance. My joke is that I sing like a virgin and I dance like a farmer. So I pointed that out to Baz Luhrmann, that I wasn't
on your skill set.
I wasn't ideal casting, but he wasn't having it. So.
Is that right? He said, "No, I know what I want."
Yeah, and he said, and we can work on various aspects.
Yeah.
So, but he had a particular, very precise vision of the character he wanted, and to the facial hair, the padding, and the costume, and how it is to deliver it in a way which is fascinating to work for. And then when he wanted a huge amount of energy brought to it, and he really pushed and drove us all on, and very infectious in his enthusiasm, and it really did. I got into areas that I wouldn't have ever imagined getting to. But
like,
just the. I mean, at one point I said, "This is going to be the loudest professional suicide note in history. That's shouting and screaming and dancing and more, bigger.
Take a look at it. This is you singing Madonna's Like a Virgin.
Oh,
Here
right.
it is.
Like a virgin, watched for the very first time. Like a virgin, when your heart beats.
Looks like fun.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the most fun. I mean, dancers are such fun.
Yeah.
They're so fit and they're so energetic and so light. And there's a ball, but I've never had to work with dancers before. And the Can-Can girls in the other scene. All the Can-Can girls charging down the huge hall behind you. That's what I mean. It's entering a quite other world for me.
Quite different from Martin Scorsese, who you work with in Gangs of New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When did you do that?
That was the winter of 2000.
2001.
Yeah. That was that was in Rome just before, and I came back and did Iris immediately after that. So
And Moulin was where in there?
Moulin Rouge was the millennium, 99, 2000 in Sydney. So it was 8 months in Sydney and about 6 or 7 months in Rome.
You're going to go to the Academy Awards?
Yeah.
And you immediately go to work on another film, or are you going to take a break?
After that, pretty soon. And there's Doug McGrath is doing a film of Nicholas Nickleby in England, and so I'm doing Wackford Squeers, the Nasty Schoolmaster, which is going to be a real treat.
That's the fun of being a character actor.
Yeah, absolutely.
The different, and you don't. There's so many more interesting roles.
Well, when there's
and you don't have to live up to an image of something.
Yeah, there was a great anarchic theatre director I worked with, Ken Campbell, and I was offered a part by another director, and they said to Ken, "I'm a bit worried about this part, Ken. It's a bit straight." And Ken said, "There are no straight parts. There are only straight actors," which is quite true. I mean, if it's a well written part, it's not straight, and I think if it's well written, there's humour in every character.
You can find it
in some way.
It's well written. Yeah. Jim, thank you for coming.
It's
great
pleasure
to have you on this program.
Oh, thank you very much. It's been delightful.
Much success at the Academy Awards and all these other things which reward achievement and talent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. See you next time.